Hey, what's up guys? This is PokeFan Spencer coming at you with another video. With Pokemon Sword and Shield dropping in a few days, I felt it was important to discuss the pros and cons of the game based on what we know so far. I'll take the data mine into account when discussing this, so please note the video may contain soft spoilers such as the number of Pokemon found in Sword and Shield. Let me preface by saying I think overall Sword and Shield games will be a positive entry in the franchise. However, there are some legitimate critiques out there and I want to cover them, so you the buyer can make the most informed decision in regards to buying Pokemon. In this first portion we're going to cover the complaints levied at the game, while in the second part we'll delve into the positives. Now, you will hear vocal minorities on either side expressing either adamant support for the game while barely acknowledging the faults, or blindly focusing on the negatives and demanding hardcore boycotting of the game. As with most things, the truth lies somewhere within the middle. So for the controversies, let's start with the big one. Dexit. We know that only 435 Pokemon are returning to Sword and Shield, which means slightly more than half of the Pokemon have been cut. The rationale for these choices are as follows. A, it's for the sake of getting the games out in a timely manner, since we know that Pokemon models and animations needed to be upgraded. And secondly, that it was for the sake of game balance. Both of these can kind of be argued away, as there aren't any notable changes for several of the animations in Sword and Shield when compared to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and that many of the Pokemon are just upscaled to newer resolution, requiring minimal resculpting. In regard to balance, this is also a poor excuse, because you can balance the game in the literal exact same way that Game Freak decided to balance the game, simply by locking competitive, VGC explicitly, to the regional decks, while allowing casual and community formats to still use the entirety of the national decks if they so choose. Either way would keep competitive landscape to a total of 435 Pokemon, but by not allowing the national decks to exist outside of competitive play, you're greatly restricting player choice and freedom. As stated earlier, there have also been complaints surrounding the graphics of the game, which normally wouldn't be a huge deal to me, as historically Pokemon games have existed on the 3DS and have had very poor resolution and graphics, so even hitting standard levels of graphics feels really good in comparison. Granted, this complaint is still legitimate, since we know the Switch is capable of so much more, as well as the fact that they use graphics as a primary reason to help justify the cutting of select Pokemon. The final major complaint I would personally levy at the game is that you can't turn off EXP share. What comes off initially as a player-friendly quality of life change is actually quite anti-player choice. Game Freak has gone on record saying that they believe any challenge in the Pokemon game should be self-imposed, and that they don't intend to add a hard mode. The idea of having to self-impose challenge in a Pokemon game is fine. However, you don't then go and undermine that sentiment by removing player choice that would allow you to self-impose more challenging rules. It just seems very counterintuitive to me. And then a final minor note is that I personally don't like Dynamaxing or Gigantamaxing as much as other gimmicks, such as Mega Evolution or Z Crystals. It feels like it's very hard to translate Dynamaxing into future games, and I'd much rather just have Megas and drop the secondary gimmicks, or just have no battle gimmicks at all. Alright, that wraps up the general, more controversial things about Sword and Shield, and earlier I mentioned that there were several positives. So what are those? Well, I'm glad you asked, Random Internet Stranger. Probably the biggest positive is the quality of life changes to Pokemon in regards to making your Pokemon viable for competitive battling, such as adding mints that allow you to change your Pokemon's battling nature, or having Pokemon of the same species be able to pass on egg moves. EVs have also been made more accessible since now you can fully train using in-game vitamins. On top of these quality of life changes, hidden powers have been removed from the game, and I feel this is a fantastic change, since hidden power allowed Pokemon to be able to respond to checks or counters they otherwise would have no chance of beating. The reason this matters is because getting specific hidden powers on Pokemon was very impractical and required extremely specific IV setups to attain. This caused a lot of cheating in the form of genning Pokemon to have certain IV spreads for the desired hidden power, so their removal not only helps balance Pokemon, but it helps deal with the cheating issue, and now there's less of a reason to generate Pokemon. Another cool feature is the inclusion of raid battles, where you get to encounter extremely large Dynamax Pokemon. I'd love to see more of this, as it's 4-player cooperative play and gives you a reason to team up with friends. Wild areas also offer a really positive change from traditional routes normally found in Pokemon. However, us old school fans can still rejoice since the routes still exist. Just think of the wild area as a massive safari zone to explore. and I'd love to see them included in future games. Also, the ability to be able to see other players out in the wild areas is super awesome. It makes the game feel so much more alive. Player expression has also been enhanced with several more cosmetic options to choose from, and a trainer card that allows you to add a little of your own flair to your character. This new cast of Pokemon also has me extremely excited, with most of the new lines being massive hits for me. The only letdown being some of the fossil Pokemon and more obscure rock Pokemon. Though I am extremely excited for this generation's pseudo-legendary. I won't spoil it, but he's really cool. And for my personal favorite addition to the new Pokemon games, it's their extra support they're adding to competitive battling in the form of a ranked system. Being able to play ranked Pokemon has me extremely excited, and I cannot wait to delve into it. And you can for sure expect more content of me delving into ranked and seeing if I can hit Master Ball tier. Anyways, that just about does it for me. Thanks for watching this video, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Just a final note at the end of the video, I wanted you to know that I support any decision you guys make in terms of boycotting the game or continuing to buy the game. Personally, what I recommend, if I wasn't planning on making content around Sword and Shield so much, I would have probably just bought it used, because I really want to play the new Pokemon games. But to me, I probably wouldn't want my money directly going to Nintendo, and that's like the best way you can sort of soft boycott the game. Just buy it used, so that way your money goes to like GameStop or wherever you get your used games from. Anyways, take care, have a great day.